It's the state's understanding that we have reached an agreement, Ms. Whitfield, Mr. Avila, through his attorney, Ms. Farah, and the state with regard to a temporary modification of current child support and medical support. Beginning November 1, Your Honor, Mr. Avila would pay $200 per month in current child support and $10 per month in current cash medical support. Additionally, Your Honor, this order would reflect that Ms. Whitfield has the child covered on government medical. And then with regard to the recess of commitment, it's the state's understanding that Mr. Avila was supposed to have made a payment of $1,000. However, testimony is that $500 has been paid. It isn't reflected on the state's financial activity report. But given the unique circumstances, which I'll defer to Ms. Farah to elaborate on. Mr. Avila was given the permission to appear remotely since travel would be from the Dallas area. And as far as the reset date, Your Honor, and a time certain that the current child support and medical support amount would be revisited, the state would like to include in its order that such current support amounts continue to be or can be reviewed at subsequent hearings until finalized, just because we appear to be waiting on Social Security disability hearings or final determination.
All right. Anything else, Mrs. Bungay?
I believe the other thing, Your Honor, was with regard to the repayment amounts on the arrears, but I think that was also contingent on whatever Social Security's final determination is, and if a lump sum is received, a prohibition on the spending of such by Mr. Avila until the matter is back in court.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Farah.
Yes, sir. As the court may recall, Mr. Avila has some substantial medical difficulties that impair his ability to see properly, his ability to move around and walk. And these things have restricted his ability to work. It's my understanding in speaking with the mother that he has had medical issues for a long time. The question has been how long those medical issues are going to continue. And unfortunately, they have continued to get worse over the years. And Mr. Avila is not able to work. He is going through the disability process. He does have an attorney for his Social Security disability appeal. But there is no court date that has been set yet on that SSDI determination. And our understanding, as Ms. Bongat put on the record, is that the parties are in agreement with a temporary child support amount in the amount of $200 beginning November 1, and medical support of $10 beginning November 1. And we have no objection to the bar on his ability to spend any lump sum until we come back to court and we can evaluate what needs to go towards the arrears.
All right, then I'll ask both parties at this time, Mr. Avila and Ma'am, Ms. Whitfield, there you are, to raise your right hands and I'll get you under oath. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you? You need to unmute yourselves and say, I will. Thank you.
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay, Ma'am, you're under oath. Mr. Avila, you need to unmute yourself, sir. There you go.
Yes, I will.
All right, you're both officially under oath, and I'll allow the state to proceed with questioning at this time. You can call your first witness, Ms. Bungat. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Tara Whitfield. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Tara Marie Whitfield.
Who is the child in this case?
Sarah Ann Marie Whitfield Avila.
How are you related to her?
I'm her biological mother.
And ma'am, who is her father?
Gabriel Rosas Avila.
And is it correct, ma'am, that Mr. Avila has been the person ordered to pay support in this case since the beginning?
Yes, ma'am.
And were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you also able to hear Ms. Farah's?
Yes, ma'am.
Were those accurate as far as the agreement you were willing to have today with temporary reduction in child support and setting of medical support with you maintaining the health insurance in place for your child?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
And then as far as the prohibition of Mr. Avila spending any lump sum awarded by Social Security, that was part of what you were requesting?
Yes, ma'am, please.
And then as far as a date certain for when this modification will end, you understand, ma'am, that if the court grants our request, it's something that we can evaluate each subsequent hearing based on the circumstances?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you have a preference, ma'am, as to whether we come back in January or February?
I'm not in particular about it, whichever is more convenient.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am, you wanted the court to consider at this time?
That's all. I just want to make sure that the new agreement is the obligations met each month, so we won't have any further issues.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
All right, thank you, ma'am. I'll be back in just a moment. Your witness, Ms. Farah. I'm sorry. Ms. Farah, your witness, and then I'll be back. Sorry about
I have
that.
no questions for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, now I'll be back in a moment, ma'am. I'll let the state call the next witness, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The state calls Gabriel Avila. Sir, what is your full name?
Gabriel Avila Rosas.
And sir, is it correct that you were the person ordered to pay support in this case?
Yes,
And sir, were you able to hear my opening statement to the court?
yes,
Were you also able to hear Ms. Farah's opening statement?
yes,
And sir, was that accurate as far as the relief you're seeking from this court, a temporary lowering of your child support amount and a setting of cash medical support in the amount of $10 per month?
yes,
And you understand, sir, that these would both begin on November 1st of 2023?
yes,
And the repayments, sir, that were set in the order enforcing done in 2022, those would continue as well?
don't understand that part.
Okay. Before, sir, when we did the order enforcing, you understand we took judgments for the child support amount that you owed?
Yes,
And at that time, we set a specific repayment amount?
I'm a little confused. I'm not understanding really what the question is.
Okay. So, sir, because we said that you owed that amount, you understand you have to pay it back, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, we had set a certain amount, which was different and separate from current support?
I don't recall that, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, sir. At this time, Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay, Ms. Farah, your witness.
Now, Mr. Avila, we spoke about this before, but it could just remind the court very briefly of the nature of your medical issue.
Well, I have neuropathy on both of my legs, literally numbness all the way to my waist. Back problem also, and also my vision is really getting bad where I can't really see. Everything's cloudy.
Are you able to, have you been able to find any kind of work that you can do to supplement income in your home?
I haven't, due to the lack of my physical, from lack of walking or standing for a long period of time. It's really hard for me to get anywhere in to where they're going to let me work and be sitting down. And of course, my eyesight doesn't help when it comes to any kind of work.
Okay. All right. And so how do you live, sir? How do you support yourself?
Through my wife, and I have a niece that is hearing and mute, and that's how we help each other to make it.
Okay. And you said that your niece, is she deaf and mute?
Yes, ma'am.
And she lives in the home with you and your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand that you are agreeing to pay $200 a month in child support and $10 a month in medical support. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Pass witness, Your Honor.
Anything on redirect, Ms. Bungay?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then, I'm sorry. At this point, Ms. Whitfield, I had to mute you. There was a lot of background noise coming in from you. Ma'am, is there anything else you want to testify to or anything else you want to ask the court at this point, ma'am? You got to unmute yourself.
No, sir. I'm okay with everything as we agreed to.
All right, then. And you don't care which month, so if I make it January or February, that's fine with you, correct?
That's correct.
All right, then. Well, I hadn't made February yet, so I'm getting ready to make the Zoom code for January. So that we'll go ahead and reset this matter to January. But I'm gonna go ahead and approve the modification, do the temporary child support and cash medical going forward, start the 1st of November. Everything else is per the prior order of enforcement. And we'll come back and to get an update on Mr. Avila's Social Security status. And again, I will grant the injunction against him taking anything out of that lump sum until we know what the lump sum is and what the mother may be getting for any type of Social Security benefit that the child may be eligible for. So at this time, Ms. Bungay, is there anything else?
Your Honor, are all parties still allowed to appear by Zoom?
Yeah, I'll make the next one by Zoom also. But if if push comes to shove, I'll reset it for a live the following month. But for right now, January Zoom will be fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Farah?
No, sir. What was that January date, sir?
The 3rd.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. Like I said, I'm getting ready to make the Zoom code now. I promised Belinda I was going to do that, and I better do it before I go grab some lunch. So, all right. May the parties be excused, Ms. Bungay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, everybody's free to go, and I'll see everybody in January. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.